Okay, today we'll start this budget line. So we'll discuss about the budget line today. So what is a budget line? So basically, if you have a given income, money income, and if you know the market price of two commodities, and we are assuming that there are only two commodities or two services available in the market. So if you have any given amount of money income, and if you know the prices of two commodities, then budget line is basically locus of different combinations of two goods for which consumer spends his or her income fully. So we are not allowing the consumer to save anything. So whatever money you have in your pocket, you need to spend fully on the two available commodities or services. So it is a downward sloping straight line joining different combinations of two commodities for which consumers' income is fully spent on these two goods. Now, we come to the equation of the budget line. First, look at the picture. So budget line will look like this. So here, basically, in this horizontal axis, we are taking commodity X1, and in vertical axis, we are taking commodity X2. So now, if we assume that you have money income of say rupees 100 in your pocket, and say your dad gave you say 100 rupees for today, and you are going to the college, and in your college canteen, say only two commodities, say for example, two commodities X1 and X2 are available. Say X2 is say for example chop, and X2 is say for example samosa. So you need to spend your entire income 100 rupees on by eating different amount of different possible amount of X1 and X2. Say the prices of X1 is say 10 rupees per unit, and price of commodity 2 is 5 rupees per unit. Is this problem is clear?
Yes, sir.
So basically, তোমার পকেটে 100 rupee আছে, and you know that price of two commodities, there is 10 rupees one piece of chop and 5 rupees one piece of samosa, and your dad told you that you have to spend your entire 100 rupee, so you cannot take any money back to home. जितना भी है खाना पड़ेगा पूरा, ठीक है? So now, how you draw, the problem is how you draw your budget line. Okay, so this AB line, how you draw. So now assume that if you are not eating any amount of X2, if your consumption of X2 is equals to 0, you are not eating any amount of samosa. So how much amount of chop or X1 you can buy with your 100 rupees? Yes, 10 pieces. So basically, we are dividing this money income 100 divided by this price of commodity 1, which is 10 here. So the maximum amount of commodity 1 you can purchase if you do not purchase commodity 2 at all. So this point, so this point B, or the distance OB horizontal intercept, will be M money income divided by P1, price of commodity 1. So which is here 100 by 10. So that will be 10. So At this point, point B, you are consuming only this OB amount of X1 and 0 amount of X2. So you got this point B. So point B will be one such boundary point of your budget line. Now, how you find what will be the distance OA? Sorry. What will be the value of OA? So at point A, you are consuming only X2 and 0 amount of X1. So how many X2 you can purchase at the most if you do not purchase X1 at all?
10
10 OBO 10 OAO 10
না OA 0
OA 0 হবে
হ্যাঁ কারণ X2 তো পারচেজ করছি না
Sir, 20.
So it will be, if you are not purchasing at this point, the consumer's purchase of or consumption of X1 is equals to 0. So if you are not consuming X1 at all, so what is the maximum amount of X2 you can consume? So this OA is the maximum
20
amount
20 20
so it will be money income divided by price of commodity 2 or price of samosa, which is 5. So it will be 100 by 5. So it will be 20. So you got point A and point B. Now, if we join a straight line between these points, then this downward sloping line is nothing but your budget line. We call it budget line. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
at any point on the budget line that will satisfy the, what will the equation of the budget line? Equation of the budget line will be your expenditure on two commodities must be equal to your income. Now, what is your expenditure on two commodities? So if you consume X1 amount of commodity 1 and you know the price of X1 is P1 per unit, so what will be the expenditure on commodity 1 if you consume X1 unit of commodity 1 at P1 prices for each unit? How much will be the expenditure, amount of expenditure on commodity 1?
100
100. I'm not asking you to take X1 equal to 10 or 20, X2 equal to 20. So don't take these things. So just assume the amount of consumption of X1 is unknown, which is equal to X1. So what will be your expenditure on commodity 1? যদি তুমি P1 দামে একটা ইউনিট অফ X1 কিনতে P1 টাকা খরচ হয়, তাহলে X1 ইউনিট অফ কমোডিটি 1 কিনতে কত টাকা খরচ হবে?
X1 into P1.
এটা বলতে এতক্ষণ লেগে গেল. So it will be P1 times X1. Like here, if the consumer consumes 10 unit of X1, so the expenditure on commodity 1 will be 10 multiplied by the price of X1. So 10 multiplied by 10, which is equal to 100. So now what will be the expenditure on commodity 2? If you are consuming X2 amount of commodity 2, it will be P2 multiplied by X2. ঠিক আছে?
Yes.
And that must be equal to your income. Fine. তাই তো? Yes or no? So we can rewrite it P2x2 equal to m minus P1x1, or we can rewrite it x2 will be equal to n by P2 minus P1 by P2 multiplied by x1. Mute karo. So this is the equation of this your budget line AB. So this is equation of your budget line. Okay. So m by P2 is nothing but this distance, vertical intercept of the budget line, and here m by P1 is nothing but your horizontal intercept, and this minus P1 by P2 is the slope of the budget line. I'm coming to that a little later. Now, any point, if you are on any point like this, C, D, E, F, any point on the budget line, all these points will satisfy your this equation of the budget line. That means on each and every point on the budget line, your expenditure will be exactly equal with your income. So budget line will be satisfied if you consume at any point on the budget line. So you are spending your full income. You are not saving anything for the next day. So there is no next day, no tomorrow is there. So we are assuming whatever income you have, you will spend your entire income today only. Now, what about a point inside the budget line? Say call it G. Will the consumer purchase at some point inside the budget line? Yes? Anyone? I'm asking you that if any consumer will consume at any point inside the budget line. So this point lies within this boundary, not on the boundary line. So I'm asking you whether a consumer, a rational consumer, will purchase or will consume at point G or not. Yes. No one. Well, so any point inside the budget line AB means that you are not on the budget line. So basically, compared to this point, you can increase your consumption of X1, or you can increase your consumption of X2, or you can increase consumption of both X1 and X2 and move toward the budget line. So unless and until you move up to the budget line, any point on the budget line, like these points, so your expenditure will be less than your money income. So some amount of money will be left with you. So you are not spending your entire income. So any rational consumer will not consume at any point inside the budget line. So he or she will always consume at any point on the budget line. বোঝা গেল? আওয়াজগুলো সব ধীরে হয়ে গেছে। Now what about a point like this, point H, which is outside your boundary budget line?
এটা greater than money income,
হ্যাঁ,
greater than money income হয়।
so your expenditure needed, you need to spend more if you want to consume at any point h. So to consume at point h you need some more amount of expenditure which is higher than your money income. So it's something like you have amount of money to purchase a chop or samosa, but you want to purchase say one pizza. So this is just not affordable by you. So any point outside the budget line AB is simply cannot affordable by the consumer. বোঝা গেল?
আচ্ছা,
Okay, now come to the slope of the budget line. Let me draw another diagram. বোঝা যাচ্ছে জিনিসগুলো যে পড়াচ্ছি?
হ্যাঁ স্যার বোঝা যাচ্ছে, তো মাঝে
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
মাঝে समझ में आ रहा है।
Okay, if you have any problem, you can ask and I'll try to explain it again. So as before, we are measuring x1 and x2 in two axes. Now let us draw a budget line like this. So this is your AB budget line. Now, say you want to say you are at this point on the budget line, say point C. Now from point C, you want to move to point D here. So compared to point C, point D contains one more unit of x1. Say if this is 1 unit and this is 2 unit. So compared to point C, point D contains 1 unit extra amount of x1. তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
So if you want to move from point C to point D, you are getting one additional unit of x1, but for that you need to sacrifice this much amount of x2.
হ্যাঁ
They call it point E. So ED is equal to 1 unit of x1. Now I'm saying that if you want to move from point C to point D, point C means this much amount of x1 and this much amount of x2, whereas point D means this much amount of x1 and this much amount of x2. So when you are trying to get one more additional unit of x1, you need to sacrifice this much amount of x2, CE amount of x2. বোঝা গেল এটা?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
ওকে,
এটা মানে যে x1 এ যখন বাড়ছে তো তখন x1 থেকে ওই অ্যামাউন্টে কমে যাচ্ছে।
x1 থেকে না, x2 এর অ্যামাউন্টটা কমে যাবে।
হ্যাঁ
সো বেসিক্যালি তোমার পকেটে তো একটা গিভেন অ্যামাউন্ট অফ মানি আছে হুইচ ইজ 100 রুপিস। নাও ধরা যাক তুমি ইউজিং 100 রুপি সে তোমার চপের দাম যদি ধরো 10 টাকা হলো আর সিঙ্গাড়া যদি 5 টাকা হয়, তো প্রথমে যদি পয়েন্ট সি তে তুমি ধরা যাক চপ কিনেছিলে একটা চপ আর বাকি রয়ে গেল তোমার একটা চপের দাম 10 টাকা। সো 90 টাকা দিয়ে তুমি কতটা সিঙ্গাড়া কিনতে পারবে? 18টা সিঙ্গাড়া কিনতে পারবে। ফাইন।
হ্যাঁ
Yes, sir.
নাও কম্পেয়ার টু পয়েন্ট সি, ইফ ইউ মুভ টু পয়েন্ট ডি, পয়েন্ট ডি তে কি হচ্ছে, তুমি একটা চপ এক্সট্রা কিনছো। তাহলে একটা চপ এক্সট্রা কেনা মানে তুমি দুটো চপ কিনছো। তাহলে দুটো চপ কেনার জন্য তোমাকে কত খরচা করতে হবে? 10 × 2
पूरी
20 रुपए चला गया। सो 20 रुपए चला जाने से 100 रुपए से 20 रुपए माइनस कर दो। सो यू आर लेफ्ट
80
विथ
रुपए
80 रुपए।
80
80 रुपए में कितना समोसा आएगा? 16
16।
समोसा आएगा।
हाँ
सो हो क्या रहा है? तो एक समोसा का कंजम्पशन 1 यूनिट बढ़ाने के लिए तुम्हें कितना सिंगा समोसा का कंजम्पशन घटाना पड़ रहा है? 2
2।
समोसा का
तो
दो।
काट करना पड़ रहा है।
हाँ
तो वही हम
हाँ
यहीं पे समझा रहे हैं कि ईडी डिस्टेंस इज 1 यूनिट, सो दिस सीई विल बी 2 यूनिट as per this example. Is this fine?
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is happening here? So when you are increasing consumption of X1 or chop by 1 unit, so you need to get this P1, or which is the price of commodity 1, which is 10 here. So তোমাকে 10 টাকা extra, you need 10 rupees extra. Karan, when you are at point C, you have already spent your 100 rupees. Now, if you want to purchase one more additional unit of X1, so you need this extra 10 rupees, which is the price of commodity 1, price of chop. Now, where from this extra 10 rupees or P1 price will come from? P1 price will come from by sacrificing some amount of the other commodity X2. So here P1 is 10 rupees. So to get this 10 rupees, we need to sacrifice 2 unit of Singara, so that we can get 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10. বোঝা গেল?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So we can write this. Say P2 rupees will get you 1 unit of commodity 2 X2. তাই তো? P2 is say samosa is commodity X2. সামোসার দাম P2 is যদি 5 হয়, so 5 টাকা তুমি দিলে you will get 1 samosa. Now if you spend 1 rupee on samosa, how much amount of samosa you will get? 1 by P2 amount of X2.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Now if you want to spend P1 rupees on samosa, how much amount of samosa you will get? P1 by P2 amount of samosa, amount of
Yes,
X2.
sir.
বোঝা গেল?
হ্যাঁ, sir.
P2
Yes,
is the
sir.
price of commodity X2, which is Singara here. So if you spend P2 rupees on samosa, you will get 1 unit of commodity 2 X2. Now, if you spend only 1 rupee on samosa, how much amount of samosa you will get? 1 by P2 amount of samosa.
1 by P.
Now, if you spend P1 rupees, you will get P1 times
by
1 by P2 amount
By
of
P2.
samosa. So P1 by
Yes, sir.
P2 amount of samosa you will get if you spend P1 rupees on samosa. So এটাকেই যদি আমি উল্টো ভাবে বলি, if you do not consume, or if you want to reduce your consumption of X2 by P1 by P2 amount of samosa, then how much money you can save? You
P1.
can save P1 amount of money, P1 rupees.
Yes, sir.
Now using this P1 rupees, you can get 1 unit of X1. Fine? Because
Yeah.
P1 is the price of commodity 1. Is this clear?
लास्टेरটা আবার বলুন P1 থেকে
नो सर, एक बार और एक्सप्लेन कीजिए ना।
सर एक बार समझा दीजिए।
यहाँ तक हो गया. So if you spend
पहला
P1
वाला हो गया
rupees,
है।
हाँ, तो you will get P1 by P2 amount of samosa. Okay, so now I am saying just ulto bhabe bolchi, jodi if I do not consume P1 by P2 amount of samosa, how much amount of money I can save? I can save P1 amount of rupees amount of money.
Yes, sir.
যদি আমি P1 by P2 amount of commodity 2 কনজাম্পশনটা না করি বা কম করি, P1 by P2 অ্যামাউন্টের X2 কনজাম্পশনটা যদি আমি কম করি, স্যাক্রিফাইস করি, তাহলে আমি কত টাকা বাঁচাতে পারবো? দ্যাট ইজ নাথিং বাট P1 টাকা।
হ্যাঁ।
ওকে, তাহলে
স্যার
এই আমাদের এই এক্সাম্পলে P1 by P2 টাকা কোনটা? P1 হচ্ছে 10 আর P2 টাকা হচ্ছে 2, সো 10 by 2 ইকুয়াল টু 2, সরি
5
না 10 by 5,
আচ্ছা 10 নেই
10 by 5, so that will be equal to 2. So here P1 by P2 is 2. So if I do not consume 2 unit of samosa, how much amount of money I can save? 5 টাকা প্রত্যেকটা সামোসার দাম, so I can save 10 rupees. Okay, so using that 10 rupees, if I want to buy chop, how much chop I can get? 1 unit of samosa, sorry, 1 unit of chop, তাই তো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
So exactly similar way, using this P1 rupee, if I want to buy one more additional unit of a commodity 1, P1 is the price of commodity 1, so I will get 1 unit of commodity 1. Okay, so now come to this graph. So to get 1 unit, this ED, distance ED is equal to 1 unit. So to get ED amount of, or 1 unit extra amount of commodity 1, we need to sacrifice P1 by P2 amount of commodity 2. বোঝা গেল?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
So this minus P1 by P2 is the slope of the budget line. Is this clear? Very well.
P1 by P2 ওটা কমিউনিটি 2টা কি বললেন?
আমি জাস্ট বলছি যে যদি তুমি এই 1 ইউনিট কনজাম্পশন অফ X2 X1 বাড়াতে চাও, তাহলে you have to sacrifice this CE amount of consumption of X2, and CE is nothing but P1 by P2, যেটা আমরা এখানে এক্সপ্লেন করলাম। So this P minus P1 by P2 will be the slope of the budget line. Minus because we are basically losing the consumption of X2 to get 1 additional unit of X1. That is why the negative sign is here. Fine?
ওকে
Okay, sir.
So that is why we call this opportunity cost of commodity 1. So slope of the budget line is the opportunity cost of commodity 1. That means to increase consumption of X1 by 1 additional unit, the consumer needs to sacrifice P1 by P2 units of X2. বোঝা গেল?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very well. অসুবিধা থাকলে বলতে পারো। Now we will discuss about some changes. So we have 3 parameters here, 3 variables. One is money income, another is price of commodity 1, and another is price of commodity 2. Now if any one of these 3 variables changes and keeping the other 2 constant, how our budget line will change, we will study that. So for example, first we will look what will happen if money income increases and P1 unchanged, P2 remaining unchanged? What will happen? Can anyone tell me? So if this is the initial budget line, AB, what will happen to the new budget line? If your money income increases, prices of the commodities remaining unchanged. কি হবে?
স্যার আরেকবার বলুন।
পয়েন্টটা
I'm saying that
সাইডে হবে।
I'm saying that we have initial income. Say you have initially your income is 100 rupees and prices are given P1 and P2. Any price, P1 may be equal to 10, P2 equal to 5 or anything. Now only thing is changing. Say money income increases to say 200. Then how your budget line will change?
বাজেট লাইন রাইটে চলে যাবে।
कैसे और क्यों?
तो अगर हम लोग का ज्यादा इनकम होगा तो प्राइस
ज्यादा
लाइन
यूनिट खरीद पाएंगे।
हाँ तो निकल
So
More
what
unit
I
than right towards right.
what I said that OB, this horizontal intercept, is equal to money income divided by P1 if you are measuring X1 here and if you are measuring X2 here. So and this vertical intercept will be equal to কত হবে? M by P2.
P2.
So your P1 and P2 is remaining unchanged. What is increased? Your money income
money
increased.
income
So M by P1 will be higher now. So this point B will be somewhere here. So this is B prime, new point. Similarly, M by P2 will also increase. So this is your A prime, new point. Now if we join these 2 points by a straight line, so this will be your new budget line, A prime, B prime. So if your money income increases and prices remaining unchanged, your budget line will shift to the right parallelly. Clear?
Clear, sir.
yes sir
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what will happen if your money income decreases?
তো লেফটে সরে যাবে
Exactly opposite thing হবে। মানি ইনকাম কমে গেলে প্রাইসেস যদি আনচেঞ্জ থাকে তাহলে বাজেট লাইনটা প্যারালালি লেফট সাইডে শিফট করে যাবে। ওকে?
ওকে
Okay, sir.
নেক্সট, say if P1 changes, price of commodity 1 increases, P2 remaining unchanged, and your money income is also same, remaining same. তাহলে কি হবে? What will happen to your budget line? You tell me now. I want answer you. थोड़ा दिमाग पे थोड़ा जोर डालो। So this is your initial budget line AB. Now what will happen if P1 increases? কে বলতে পারবে?
বি পয়েন্ট লিখতে
হ্যাঁ পরিষ্কার করে বলো।
স্যার বি পয়েন্টটা লিখতে সরে যাবে
কেন সরবে লেফটে?
স্যার পি ইনক্রিজ করলে স্যার এম বাই পি কমে যাবে পি ওয়ান
So a distance is nothing but M by P1. So as P1 increases, M by P1 will decrease. So this new point, hello, please mute yourself. Hello. মুরারি মোহন বিশ্বাস, রনক খেলা, মিউট করো। হ্যালো।
फेंकिए ना उसका बजन में से सब फेंक मार
Okay, so what we are saying that this OB distance will be reduced because M by P1 will fall as P1 increases. So the new point B will move to some point here, B1, B prime. What about the distance OA? What will happen to the distance OA?
it will remain constant.
It will remain unchanged because this money income is not changing, P2 is not changing. So this OA is nothing but your M by P2. So this distance will remain same. So your budget line, new budget line will be
A and B.
something like this. So it will rotate clockwise like this. বোঝা গেছে?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now what will happen if P1 decreases, P2 and money income remaining unchanged?
স্যার B2 ডান দিকে সরে যাবে।
তাহলে এটা এই পয়েন্টটা সামহার এখানে আসবে। সো বি
Yes, sir.
প্রাইমটা তখন এখানে আসবে। এই ওয়েটা রিমেইনিং সেম। সুতরাং নতুন বাজেট লাইন will be something like this. So it will
A and B1.
rotate counter clockwise around point A. এই পয়েন্টের থেকে ঘড়ির কাঁটার বিপরীত দিকে মুভ করবে। বোঝা গেল?
Yes, sir.
Next is if P2 rises and P1 and money income remaining unchanged. How the budget line will change?
So budget line P2 X2 দিকে উপর দিয়ে উঠে যাবে।
নিজে ছবি আঁকছো? You are drawing it on your script.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this OB distance M by P1, so this will remain unchanged. There is no change in M or P1. These things are not changing. So this OB distance will remain same. What will change is this distance OA. So when P2 increases, M by P2 will কি হবে? Fall করবে।
ফোন কর
So the new A prime will be somewhere here. So your new budget line will be something like this. So it will rotate counterclockwise around point B. So B point এ কেন্দ্র করে বাজেট লাইনটা কাউন্টার ক্লকওয়াইজ ঘড়ির কাঁটার বিপরীত দিকে ঘুরে যাবে। ফাইন? হ্যালো?
ওকে স্যার ওকে
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what will happen if P2 decreases?
এর অপোজিট
এক্স্যাক্টলি এর অপোজিট হবে। সো এই
ক্লকওয়াইজ।
এই ডিস্টেন্সটা বেড়ে যাবে, সুতরাং বাজেট লাইনটা বি বিন্দুকে কেন্দ্র করে ক্লকওয়াইজ শিফট মানে রোটেট করে যাবে। ফাইন।
ইয়েস স্যার।
ইয়েস স্যার।
তো এইভাবে ছবিগুলো হবে। Now what will happen if both P1 and P2 double হয়ে গেল and money income remaining unchanged? তাহলে কি হবে?
Whole budget line will be moved toward left.
কিভাবে?
এবি যে বাজেট লাইন সেটা কমে যাবে।
কমবে তো বটে, কিন্তু কিভাবে কমবে? It will shift parallelly or it will rotate or clockwise or counterclockwise, in which way?
প্যারালালি।
Why?
কারণ দুটোই তো
ইউনিটস কিনতে পারবো না তো, দাম যদি বেড়ে যায়।
ধরা যাক আগে প্রাইস P1 P2 ছিল, এখন এটা ডাবল হয়ে 2P1 2P2 হয়ে গেছে। ওকে, that means if you look at the equation of the budget line, আগে ছিল P1 x1 multiply plus P2 x2 equal to your income। এখন কি হয়ে যাচ্ছে 2P1 P2 plus two things। So if you rewrite it, you can write it P1 x1 plus P2 x2 equal to m by 2। So price double হয়ে যাচ্ছে when prices, both the prices of the two commodities are doubled, keeping your money income constant. It actually means you are on the same budget line, not on the same budget line. If you on the left hand side, your budget line remaining the same, but on your right hand side, your money income, actual money income becomes halved। যা টাকা ছিল তার অর্ধেক হয়ে গেল অ্যাকচুয়ালি। বোঝা গেল? আগে এম টাকা ছিল, এখন m by 2 টাকা হয়ে গেল। সুতরাং আগে যদি এটা বাজেট লাইন থাকতো, if this is your original budget line, new budget line will be shift parallelly to the left। Fine?
Okay,
ফাইন স্যার।
Similarly, if prices of the two commodities যদি অর্ধেক হয়ে যায়, if prices of the both commodity halved, then budget line
অপর দিক।
shift rightward
Parallelly.
parallelly। প্যারালাল স্ট্রেট লাইন হবে, বেঁকে গেছে। ওকে,
ওকে স্যার।
Yes sir.
next is if all P1 P2 and money income everything is doubled, তাহলে কি হবে? যদি if the money income and prices of both the commodities are doubled, then what will happen to the budget line?
Unchanged.
So again,
একই থাকবে।
rewrite your budget line P1 x1 plus P2 x2 equal to n। Now if P1 doubled, P2 doubled and money income doubled, so new equation will be 2P1 times x2 plus 2P2 times x2, sorry, this will be x1 not x2, this will be equal to 2 times money income। So if you, so this equation will be the exactly same equation as before। So your budget line will remain same if all P1 P2 and money income changes in the same direction and in the same proportion। যদি তিনটেই কমে যায় বা তিনটেই বেড়ে যায় একই প্রপোর্শনে, তিনটেই ধরা যাক ডাবল হয়ে গেল বা তিনটেই হাফ হয়ে গেল, তাহলে your budget line will remain unchanged। Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now say you have some amount of money in your pocket, and say you went to college today, and during when you are entering the college, so you have received a 50 rupees note uh, from the street. So what will happen to your budget line? How your budget line will change? You got my?
বললেন স্যার?
I'm saying that you went to the college today, and when you are entering into the college, you have found out one 50 rupee note from the street uh, in front of the college. So how your budget line will change today? That's the question.
Budget line will move towards right.
How? In which direction? Parallelly or rotate?
Parallelly, parallelly.
Why? What's the logic?
মানি ইনকামটা যখন
Money
বেড়ে
income increases.
Exactly. So you went to college today with some amount of income, say call it M. It can be 100, 500, whatever it may be. So after you have received this 50 rupee note, your new income becomes M plus 50. So your money income actually increased. So if your money income increased and there is no change in P1 and P2, so your new budget line will shift parallelly rightward. Fine.
Yes, sir. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you change the same question a little bit, say you went to the college today with some amount of money in your pocket. Say now, today, you have to pay some fees to the college authority. You have to deposit some amount of fees like this. Then what will happen to your budget line?
Rise and left.
Move towards left, parallelly.
Yes. So, say if you have to spend 50 rupees, then your new income will be M minus 50. That means your
Yes,
money
sir.
income reduced. So your new budget line will shift to the left parallel. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you may receive this kind of question in your exam. That is why I'm giving some examples like this. I think we should stop here because otherwise the class will be too long. Okay.
Okay,
Sir.
sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Can we leave?
Yeah, attendance please.
Thank you, sir.
Just 1 minute. Let me stop for a
Hello,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Hello.
1 minute. 1 minute. Wait.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Wait 1 minute.
Okay, sir.